Now I'm going to show you how easy it is to upload data from the same sources that Route 1 will create, the same database formats, and put these onto the iSeries. I'm going to start off by doing a very, very simple one. Basically, I'm going to re-upload that Excel spreadsheet that we downloaded before. In fact, I'm going to do it from the Microsoft Access database table. Show you how easy it is. So this is the iRoute program running on the PC, and basically iRoute is Route 1 in reverse. It will let you take any formats that Route 1 can create and upload them back to the iSeries. Obviously, the data does not have to have come from Route 1 in the first place, but just in this example, it makes it easier if it does. So, having opened the iRoute program on the PC, I then say I'm going to create a new script. A script being equal to a definition on the green screen. Okay, then the first thing the product asks me to do is tell it what kind of input file I'm going to read. In this case, I'm going to use a Microsoft Access database. I'll tell you why I'm going to use an Access database in a little while. So once I've told it the data format I'm going to read, I need to point it to an example of that file. So I'm going to use C:/route1 sales MDB, which is the one I've just created. Okay, so I can say OK. This could just as easily have been SQL Server or Excel spreadsheet. When I've done that, I click Next. Now what is this showing me? It's just showing me all the fields in the data source that I've selected, be it a spreadsheet or a database type file. And I just have to select which ones I want to upload, select. So I can highlight one and click a little arrow there to send it over. So I can select the fields that I want. Or if I just click the double arrow, it'll take all the fields. So basically I'm going to take all those fields and upload those to the iSeries. After I've selected the fields I want, I click Next. Now it's saying to me which iSeries I'm going to send it to. So that's the IP address of the iSeries. These have previously been defined to iRoute. And my username, I've got a username set up as well for my demo purposes so it can log on to the iSeries. Where am I going to put it? I'm going to put it into that library called BI demo. And I'll call it upload 1. I can specify a member name if I wish to do so. And what am I going to do? When I get to the iSeries, I'm going to create a new table. So I just highlight that box there to create new table. Click Next. Now what it's showing to me, right, these are all the details of the fields it's going to create on the iSeries. I can change these if I want to. It'll default to packed for any numeric fields and alpha for any alpha fields. It's got the lengths from the database. This is where I said before, I'll tell you why I'm using a Microsoft database here. I could easily have done it from an Excel spreadsheet, but one thing that's quite tricky, well, it's not tricky, a little trickier, is when you upload data from an Excel spreadsheet, iRoute does not know what the maximum length of the fields are. If you're uploading from a database, be it Access, SQL, MySQL, then obviously it can tell the length of all the fields. So it makes it a little bit easier for a demonstration, that's all. So I don't have to go through and change all the field lengths. So it's going to call my iSeries name customer_n, it's going to call my name, that one, item number, item description, and those are the column headings it's going to create. So I just click Next. Okay, so more and more field called customer1 for some reason. I've done that. So that should be, I'll just change this name here to be cust class ESC. Obviously I can't create a table on the iSeries with two field names that are the same. Longer than 10 characters. Okay. Yeah, might help if I did it right. At least it shows it's got validation in the product. Tap down to that one. Plus DESC. Right to it. Click Next. Okay, it's happy with that. Now it's saying, do you want to create the script that I've just keyed in? Yes, of course I do. So it's sales upload 1. If I tick that box there, it will actually run it immediately. So I click OK. If I want to, I can do pre-processing and post-processing here, so I can actually do some routines on the PC before it reads the data, or I can do post-processing either on the PC or on the iSeries. I'm just going to click Run Script. So what this is going to do now is it's going to read my table from the Access database, extract the data, and send it up to the iSeries at that location I specified. Okay, so it's actually done that bit now. if I go back to my iSeries and go into iRoute, if I go into option 11, this should show me any uploads that are awaiting processing. So that's one that I've just done now, the SAC one, that's me. And to process it manually, I just put a 1 next to it, and that will process it. Processing means read the raw data that's come up from iRoute on the PC and create and write to the iSeries database file that I've told it to do so. So I put a 1 next to it and press enter. That is now processing the data. In the normal run of things, you won't have to process it manually, because what you will do is just start the iRoute subsystem going on the machine. But as any uploads arrive, they will be automatically processed. If I go into upload history, see I've gone into here now, and it says my BI demo upload 1 has uploaded 913 rows at this point in time. If I just put a 6 next to it, that will run a query over the file, so you can see the data that's been built by iRoute and put up to the iSeries. All those fields have come up successfully. I was windowing across, sorry. Yeah, so that's how easy it is to get data onto the iSeries. Obviously, there's a lot more complex things you can do, which I'm going to show you in a second, because you probably want to validate the data when it gets onto the iSeries, and you also might want to take that file that's been created and write it into your ERP system. Now I want to go a little bit further with iRoute and show you a couple more concepts. First one is I'm going to take an XML document, which is slightly harder to read because of the format of the document, and then when it gets up to the iSeries, I'm going to run a definition to process the uploaded file and tell it what I want to do with it. Just to show you the file that I'm going to start from, there's a file here called purchase order XML. I double click it, open it in Internet Explorer. So this is showing you the structure of the XML, pretty standard. It's got a order header section at the top, and some more header information about the document, order references, supplier details, all that type of stuff. And then down the bottom, scroll down to the bottom, it's got all the order lines that actually make up the document. Okay. So how do we read that in iRoute? Pretty simple. I'll go back to my iRoute program. I've selected the script, so if I just select modify the script, I can take you through the steps. So as I did when I created my new script a moment ago, but I've just selected this time XML file, and I've pointed it towards that purchase order.xml document, which is the one I've just shown you. Okay. Another thing I need to do is just tell it there what the detail lines are. So there's multiple order lines per header, basically is what I've selected there. I'll click next. One of the beautiful things about iRoute is the way it parses the XML document. So it's just shown you the complete structure here of the XML document that it's read. Excuse me, edit that bit out. And what I need to do to select the fields I want to upload, say if I wanted to upload the currency, I'll just click it. See, it's red at the moment. If I click it, it'll become blue, and it comes onto the side over here in the list. This list over the right hand side is the list of fields that we want to extract from the document and upload to the iSeries. So I click buyer's order number as well. That will go over that side and turn blue. I want to take them out again just so my script is the same as it was. That's all I need to do. So I can add and take away my fields very, very easily. If I click next, that's just confirmation of all the XML fields I'm going to extract. And after this point, the iRoute routine is exactly the same as it was from any of my other sources like Excel or Access or SQL Server. So I'm going to upload to the same iSeries, I'm going to put it into library iRoute demo, and I'm going to call my file purchase order. Okay, confirmation of the iSeries file layout that I want it to create. Next, I just want to click here. Yes, I'm going to run that script immediately. And click OK. Save changes. Again, you don't have to run these scripts manually. What you can do is configure the products looking folders for the arrival of files. So if you've got an application that's creating a particular file that you want to upload, iRoute can do that. Or you can just get users to save folder files, spreadsheets or whatever into that same folder, and iRoute will pick it up. Or iRoute can look for the arrival of an email and check for a particular attachment and detach the file and run it. So everything can be completely automatic. I just click run script. Now it's uploaded that script manually to the iSeries. If I go back over to my iSeries, go into my iRoute library, let's upload it to. In this case, iRoute md/iRoute. I'm going to uploads awaiting processing. There you'll see there's that file that's uploaded awaiting processing. If I put an 8 next to it, that will show you what it's uploaded as a CSV file, so extracted that from the XML document and created a CSV file from it. But what we've done here is we've created a definition within iRoute. Now what a definition means is, it means whenever a file has been uploaded and created a flat file on the iSeries, I want to run a definition that reads that flat file and points it to wherever you want to go. So if I look at the definition for that, purchase order upload, this is the one here. I'll walk you through exactly what we've done. We've specified the input file. So I'm reading purchase order in iRoute demo, which is the file I've just uploaded it from. And I've told it which output files I want to write the data to. So in this case, we're writing it to 3 files. We're writing it to an order header file. So the order, information from the order header will come from the header information in the XML document. I'm writing to an order details file, so all the detail lines will go into my order lines file in my ERP system. And I've got a trailer line, show me DA, which information from there will go. The action I've defined here is I, which means I want to insert records always. So this is always new order, so this is not going to update any existing data. It's just going to insert it into the file. If I put a 2 next to any file, this shows me in blue all fields from the table on the iSeries file, and the ones in green underneath is where I've defined what I want to populate those data with. So I've got data from my XML document, and I'm saying write it into those fields on my iSeries table. Yes, so it's the same for all the 3 files. DA is actually delivery address details that have come from the file. If I want to, I can join to another file to go get some more information. So in this case, I'm joining to my customer file, but on company 01 and the account numbers come from the XML document. The beauty of that is it means that any customer file fields are now available to me in my definition, so I can use those if I want to as well. Also, what I've defined here is validation rules. Okay, so I've said before I write my data to my ERP system files, I want to validate the data. So the first thing I would do is say, what level do I want to validate it at? I'm going to validate it at level 2. Level 2 means I want to validate. This means I want to validate by the whole file. Basically, if there's any errors anywhere in my uploaded file, I'm going to reject all the data. If I validate by row, that means I'm just going to accept any rows that have got valid data in and reject any rows that haven't. So process it either way, either which way you want to. And then what I do, I'll show you this in a second, you create validation rules within the product. And basically you create validation and then you just assign validation rules to each particular field. So this is going to validate the product, and it's using a validation rule called item check 2. Now if I go and show you what that looks like, item check 2 basically is saying I'm going to take the item field from my uploaded file and I'm going to validate it against a file called shoe items in a library called nmfv2. So it's going to check that that item code is valid against that file. Record exists means 1, it's got to be on the file. If I say record exists 0, you can say it's not got to be on the file. So you can create as many validation rules as you like against each particular field. This price check, I think, is just a constant one. So this is saying, oops, sorry if I show you the details. This is saying that file star field means the validation is against the field I've tied it to. So that's got to be between 30 and 60. So my value has got to be between £30 and £60. Okay, so now what happens? I'll process that. When I go back into my uploads awaiting processing, first thing it's going to do is read the data, and then it's going to run that iRoute definition that I've got there. And that iRoute definition will validate the data, and it should actually reject it because we've got some validation errors on the file. So you see there it says there's 9 rows in the uploaded file, but I've got validation errors. So what can I do? I'll look at 4 within the product. This will show me the validation errors. It's saying so the product code is not valid, and this is where it's saying the item price is valid between £30 and £60. So you see I can check that all data that is uploaded is valid before it actually gets into my ERP system. So in that case, what I would have to do is get my user to reprocess that XML document, change the data to make it valid, and then resubmit it. Okay, this final example of an iRoute definition, I'm going to show you a very similar upload. It's going to upload a very similar XML document and upload it to the iSeries, but instead of validating it manually, i.e. by keying in validation rules and running a definition, we're going to key it into the system using our IKEA virtual terminal technology. So it's going to upload a flat file to the iSeries and then run a script that keys the data into the ERP system. So I'll just show you again exactly what this file looks like. If I come out of that, if I go back into the iRoute product, walk you through it. It's very, very similar to the last example. Let's go through the steps just so I can show you. So that's the file I'm going to use, different file. Go through. That's the parsing of the XML document. Next. The file I'm going to write to is called parse or X. I do next. Again, the iSeries file layout that I want to create. Next. And run that script now. Okay. What I want to show you here is something we've got a bit different. So what we've got here is I've got an iSeries post-processing command, which basically says, after the data's been uploaded through iRoute, I'm going to call that CL program called interface in library iRoute dem data. Now what that program is going to do is it's going to basically just take the data you've uploaded and put it through our IKEA virtual terminal script. So I click done now and I do save changes and run the script again. So it's read the document, uploaded it to the iSeries. If I come out of there and just go back to the iSeries. Okay. If I go to iRoute demd, which is my iRoute environment I'm using, there will now be an upload awaited processing, which is that one I've just keyed. I want to process it. This time this is going to go through straight. I've got no validation rules in my iRoute on the iSeries. I've got no definition. What it's doing is it's calling the script. If I go into the upload history, you'll see it's uploaded the 9 rows successfully. And if I look at the log, whenever you do an upload, there's always a log, an audit log of exactly what's happening, showing the data, how it's translated it. But the last thing is then, after I've uploaded the data, I've called that CL program called interface in UTI dem data. Now what that's done is it's run the virtual terminal script. I'll show you what I mean. If I go into the proactive product and I do work with scripts number 11, if I go into new order, this is the script that it's run. Okay, so what's happening here is when you call the CO program, it runs this script. The proactive product is logging on to the iSeries green screen by a profile we've already created. I've defined there the file name that we've just uploaded called purchase order in UTI demo data. I've told it I want to log to the log file and I want to log the order references as they arrive. So I've got an audit file where all the order references have been updated. Now here what it's doing is as it's logging on to the iSeries to the green screen, it's checking for the main menu. So it's looking for the characters main starting in position 40 on line 1. And until it finds that, we'll just go around that loop. When it gets to it, it's then going to enter my sales system by typing sales menu on line 27, on line 20, position 7. And then it's going to take menu option 1 and key that in and press enter, which takes me into the order entry. Now this here is where I read my file now. So I'm going to read the first data record. This is proactive, is reading the data that's just been uploaded. And from that data record, it's keying into the screen on line 5, position 48, the supplier code. And then it's keying in the address details where I want it to go to. And then an order reference. And then the narrative is pressing enter to go through the variable screens. Then the last part of the script here is it's reading the detail lines from the order and keying them into the relevant part on the screen. You can see it's going around that, doing all that. And then when it's finished, it signs off. To show you what I mean, if I go into the IKEA history, number 8, and just walk you through the session details, this is exactly what it's done. So it's signing onto the green screen session in the background, looking for the main menu, so as I'm going through and pressing enter. You see, whenever I press enter to go to the next step in my history, it tells you up at the top left-hand corner there what key you've pressed, so you pressed enter. So now I've got to the main menu, it says main there in position 40. So I type sales menu, and then when I get to the sales menu, it's entered number 1 to type in a sales order, and then it's entered the customer number. So this is the first part of data it's got from the XML document. So it's uploaded customer 41, and then press enter, which takes me to the header information screen. So here It's entered the delivery address that the order wants to go to and the order date which has been extracted from the XML document. Then it gets onto the special instructions screen again, which is from the header. It says deliver between 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock, press enter. And now I've got to the part where it's going to enter all the detail lines from the XML document. So it's doing these one by one, keys them in one by one by one by one, and then presses enter. At this point, of course, if there's any validation errors on the green screen, this will be detected by the script and the whole thing will get rejected again. But it's not, so it's just said, okay, it's gone and got the descriptions for all those items. This is my underlying green screen application, of course. And I press enter, and it's accepted it. It's pressed F8 to complete. And then I've got an order completion window, that's the value of the order, F8 to confirm. So the script has pressed F8 to get the data, the order entry into my system. Come out of the order entry system by pressing enter, by pressing F12. Enter, get to the sign off screen, it types sign on, and hey presto, my green screen session is entered. So in summary, what's happened there is an XML document has arrived. In the real world, it will be processed automatically, it will get uploaded to the iSeries. The IKEA script will be automatically run, the data has been keyed in virtually by an IKEA product, and the data is now in your ERP system in a few seconds of your XML document arriving.